Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Purport. We'll read the last paragraph. Both the Pandavas and the sons of Dhritarashtra belong to same family, but Dhritarashtra's mind is disclosed herein. He deliberately claimed only his sons as Kurus, and he separated the sons of Pandu from the hermitage. One can thus understand the specific position of Dhritarashtra in his relationship with his nephews. The sons of Pandu, as in the paddy field, the unnecessary plants were taken out. So it is expected from the very beginning of these topics that in the religious field of Kurukshetra, where the father of religion, Sri Krishna was present, the unwanted plants of Dhritarashtra's sons, Duryodhana and others would be wiped off. And the thoroughly religious person headed by Yudhishthira would be established by the Lord. This is the significance of word Dharma Kshetra and Kurukshetra apart from their historical and Vedic importance. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupaka Dhamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripasindubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवश्री गौड़ भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणम् हरे कृष्ण. So we're continuing sloka number 1, trying to understand how this raga and how there is behind the raga there is a fear of attachment. It means raga's extension is fear. How that fear comes is through attachment only. We'll try to discuss that aspect. Dear devotees, I was just thinking about it. We have children, we have wife or husband, we have family. And the moment we hear that everything is temporary, two things will come. If we do not have good relationship with them, we tend to keep them on the side. Because already our consciousness is that. Now we are hearing the truth that everything is temporary. This is Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. So when we tend to keep them more in that side. That means what are we doing? We are with them, but we are not with them. And what is the attitude behind that? The attitude behind that is, I'm not with them because it is temporary and I do not belong to them. I'm a soul, they are a soul. I'm independent, they are independent. I'm dependently independent, they are also dependently independent. So if the relationship is not good, then generally what happens is we tend to put them in another realm. Generally, this is little rare case because most of them have some kind of relation and they feel that relationship is real relationship. But that relationship which they are feeling is on the platform of attachment, which is raga. I remember one time when I was conversing with a senior senior devotee. Senior in the sense has been there since many years. He told one thing, which was not connecting to the heart. What was that is? Anyhow, they have to suffer. This is what I'm trying to say. What is the statement? Anyhow, they will suffer based on their karmic reaction. If the karmic reaction is if their karma is good, they will not suffer. If their karma is bad, they will suffer. That means the person is actually seeing through knowledge. That means shouldn't we see with the knowledge? We should see with the knowledge. But there is further. When that knowledge becomes realized, then what happens? Then we will begin seeing with the heart. So the Prabhu is telling, as if their karma is good, Prabhu, they will be good. If their karma is bad, they will be bad. So we should be aloof from that. Are is your son, na? That means the Prabhu is actually aloof with that, and he's using the scriptures and then telling, confirming that he's not attached to it. For example, let's say the child is going through difficulty. Dhritarashtra was also lamenting. Let's say Duryodhana is sick. Dhritarashtra will not lament, he'll lament. Kunti Maharani's son, if Arjun is sick, Kunti Maharani will not lament, she'll lament. But what is the difference? No, her lamentation is different. Dhritarashtra's lamentation is different. Dhritarashtra is seeing as his own. Dear devotees, I'll tell another aspect. Let's say if there is a doctor who's actually doing surgery. He has done 100 surgeries, heart surgeries. Now his daughter has a hole in the heart. He has to do surgery. He has to close that hole. Do you think he'll be able to do that? Actually, he went to the operation theater, but his hands are shaking. Why his hands are shaking? He has to do his dharma, right? He cannot do that dharma. Why? Because of attachment. That means, what is this raga doing? Let me come back to Dhritarashtra's statement. Dhritarashtra's son is sick. Now he is also lamenting. Whereas Kunti Maharani, she is also lamenting. But her lamentation is with love and devotion. How is it love? How is it with love and devotion? Because she is seeing him as part and parcel of the Lord. Please understand. Here, Dhritarashtra is not seeing that child as part and parcel of the Lord. The moment when Krishna is removed, when the instructions of the acharyas are removed, everything is raga only. Everything is mere attachment. Actually, through that plane, frustration comes. But if a person is really actually doing it for the pleasure of the spiritual master and the Lord, now he will not get frustration because that is not in the plane of raga. But he seems to be attached. He is attached. His attachment is on a different level, different plane. His attachment is to Guru and Krishna. To that Guru Krishna attachment, he is attaching to these children. Please understand. For example, there's a place where you are stuck. And if you move in that place, you'll go in deeper, deeper. There's wet sand. You go deeper, more and more deep. But if you stay there, remain as is, you'll not go deeper. That means at that moment, if a person whose consciousness is unstable, he will shake here and there. So that way he will go inside completely. But if a person consciously is aware, that means he has an awareness. If I do not shake and if I call for help, if I do not shake, then there is a hope that I can come out of this. Likewise, dear devotees, here Pandavas, they're actually connected to the Lord. Please understand this. No, they are also five brothers only, but they are not connected with Raga. Please understand this. They are not connected on a Raga plane. They are connected on a higher plane. They are all working for the pleasure of the Lord only. I'll give another example. The people of Ayodhya, when they heard that Lord Ramachandra is heading to the forest, everyone ran behind him. They are not watching that whether his wife is coming, whether his son is coming, daughter is coming. Nobody is watching. Everyone has one consciousness only. They all wanted to go behind Rama. They wanted to go behind Rama because out of pure love, because they do not know anything else other than him. The devotees, pure devotional service will burn off everything. Please understand. If you do one thing for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna, you don't have to understand big details also. Now for preaching, a person has to know. But if a normal person, he doesn't have to know all the details. If he knows the essence, if he can catch that, then he'll come back to Godhead. Now those personalities, they don't know all the details, but they only know one thing. What is that one thing? They know that they love Lord Ramachandra so much. They do not have any other business in their life. But he is the only business for them. That's why when Lord Ramachandra is going, they are not checking, अरे यार उधर लॉकर में वो क्लोज करना है, इधर में गोल्ड लिया, इधर सिल्वर लिया, I have to close that, I have to close this. Because I'm going to the forest now, I have to close some bank accounts. Oh, they have no such thing. Please understand. They're not connected to anything else. They're only connected to that person. See, understand, dear devotees, if you are connected to the root, what happens is, irrespective of the situation, you practice pure devotion. That is actually a solution to come out of this raga. Oh, this raga is very deep actually. Life after life, this raga is there. Dear devotees, forget about other person. We have raga on ourselves also. If there is a cut in the hand while cutting the vegetables, we say, Amma, ayya, what happened? What is this? My finger cut. What's happening? So much connected to this. Because we see our face every day in the mirror. We think that we are that. Through that thinking only, just like Dhritarashtra is actually thinking he's my son. Even though he knows Dharma, but he doesn't want to accept that because this thing is actually dominating that aspect. Please understand. A lot of people will know Krishna consciousness philosophy. But to apply that philosophy in that right channel is difficult. For that only we need association. Because everyone can tell if Karina can also tell something, the details of the philosophy. She knows because she's hearing since childhood. But to apply that at the right time, we need association. We need strong association where practically we need to know how to apply this. It's important. Because if that thing is not manifested, then the Brajavasis or the Vasi or the people of Ayodhya, when Lord Ramachandra is leaving, they immediately left. That means they do not have any raga with any one of them. It's like Dhritarashtra was being told by Vidur again and again, "अरे छोड़ दो ना यार, just leave this place. Why are you holding to this? Even after his children died, still he was holding to that place. Just see, understand how deep that raga is, how deep that attachment is. Doesn't want to leave that. He want to stick to that position. And he wants to guide Yudhishthir Maharaj also after Pandavas won the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Just see how deep the raga is. You see this prime minister, chief minister, they don't want to get down from that position. I remember I'll tell a very, very interesting aspect how this raga is working. Every person has this. a chief minister of Andhra Pradesh. He was earlier person for TRS party, Telangana Rashtriya Samiti. Now that person he created a new assembly just to ensure that his son or he will become a chief minister again. That didn't happen. Means they want to stay there only. Attachment. So deep. It means even at the time of the death, they will remember assembly. When they'll get a bodies like a cat or a dog next to the assembly or within the assembly. Or they'll become a watchman in the assembly if they are little pious. They'll get a human form of life. So what's happening here? Attachment is so deep. Just like Dhritarashtra, he is Vidura was actually he was lamenting profusely. Why? Because he couldn't send his brother to the spiritual world. Bhagavatam it comes. Vidura was actually literally lamenting because, oh, my brother, if he would have heard my word before, he would have gone to the spiritual world. But at least he received the impersonal liberation. This is better than what he has right now. See, the pure devotee, they always think like this because their target is only one. That's why if you see entire life, he did that only. He helped Dhritarashtra to come out of the turbulent situation. Because through the turbulent situation, what is happening, dear devotees? Chaotic, chaos, chaotic conditions are happening. Exactly this is what happens in a conditioned soul's life. Through the conditioning, what happens is we actually think we are this. Prabhu thinks that is Prabhu, Mataji thinks that she is Mataji. We're actually thinking that only. So through that attachment, what is happening? We see through this vision only we see others. That means we don't go internal. Our consciousness, we don't check our consciousness inside. Are why this raga is so deep? Why is why is this pulling? That means do we have to act? We have children, right? Do we have to act with them on an impersonal plane? I know one person practices impersonalism. Her daughter became a devotee. And that Mataji, she told us that her husband, her father, he never told that he's practicing impersonal philosophy. He was there at home, but he was completely aloof. That means he was never connected to any one of them. He was just leading a life. What kind of life is that? Please understand. That means you're at a home, you're at a place, but you're not with them. Why? Because you are understanding that this is temporary. Please understand, this awareness will actually come to Krishna conscious devotees also. Because when we actually just see this truth on a knowledge level, this is what we will come to, and we will stop them. Because that is a halted position. There is no progress further. Because we never did for a person. When you actually serve your children, you should actually remember the spiritual master and the Lord through their mercy, you are serving them. Actually, you are serving them. You never proclaim that they should serve us. Obviously, through love, whatever they do, we should accept that. But technically, what are we doing? We are actually doing a service. Because they are the property of the Lord, they are not our property. Actually, we should tell them, your real father is Krishna, not me. Your real father is a spiritual master, not me. Your real father is a acharya, not me. I am your father only in this life. And I will do everything so that you meet your real father. That is my dharma. This clarity we should give actually to our children. We shouldn't fool them around in this world. If we are planning to give this clarity to them, that means we should be clear with this. Otherwise, dear devotees, what happens is Raga will only come through our relationship, through the relationship in the family. Please understand. It's only raga. We should have a very clear demarcation. You should tell the wife, you should tell the husband. This is how you will actually come out of that sense gratification. Please understand. How do we come out of sense gratification? Because you are property of the Lord. You should tell the wife, husband should tell the wife, you are the property of Krishna. In some way, shape, or form, you have a relation. You might be his some relation. You are his servant. Proper says that we should use that you're the servant of the Lord. Then through that servant, when you understand your natural state, then you'll get to know your real nature, real relationship with the Lord. But the husband should actually train, he should understand, he should be convinced with that, and then he should actually train his wife in that plane only. That I am not there to receive enjoyment from you, and then you are not there to give enjoyment to me. Neither you are there to receive enjoyment from me. We both are there to serve each other. This is actually breaking the raga because, dear viewers, please understand there is a Hridaya Granthi strong knot in the heart. And the core the core reason for that strong knot is raga only. That means we somehow feel attached to that person. This is natural, dear devotees. Attachment in this world is natural. Please understand. Even the material nature will actually work naturally here. We don't feel that unnaturally we have a relationship with our wife or husband or something else or our children. We technically have a relationship, but please understand, if our relationship with the spiritual master and the Lord and Krishna is so deep, you will have good relationship with your children, with your spouse. We should work more on this because we have to develop that relation. Because if this relationship corrected, then that relationship will open up. This relationship can only be corrected if you are out of raga. Because if you are out of raga only, we can correct the other person. Please understand. Otherwise we cannot correct the other person. Do you see Dhritarashtra correcting his son Duryodhana? He never corrected his son Duryodhana because he is fully with raga. He is loaded with raga. Please understand. But on the other side, our Pandavas were very submissive to Mother Kunti. Why? Because they're not with raga. They're actually serving each other out of love and respect. So this is what we need to aspire. Because if our aspiration is this, well, then what happens? Slowly, our existence will evolve more and our thought process will go deeper. Our understanding will go deeper. Do you know what is? That's why if both husband and wife they are good friends, then both will become very serious practitioners. But if the husband and wife they do not have good relation, then it will take time. But if both are friends before coming to Krishna consciousness, they have good relation, then both will take the process nicely. That's why it's important. So our goals, our aspirations should come out of this state. Merely telling that this is karma is basic, dear devotees. It's a basic understanding. That will give solace on some plane, on a knowledge plane. But it will not give solace to the heart. Because okay, there is karmic reaction. If we obviously we have raga, through that raga, what happens? We'll be in a state of suffering because that person is affected now. And on the other side, if a person has deep knowledge on an impersonal level without a relationship with Guru and Krishna, then what happens in that state? In that state also he will not lament because he will say Matra Sparsha Kaunta Ashita Ushna Sukha Dukkada. Okay, I will not agitate. As Krishna told, there's happiness, distress. I should be free from dualities. Through knowledge, up until some point of time, he will come. He will accept. but it will not accept on a deeper level. That means it will not come, it will not go to the heart. Dear devotees, I'll tell something which is very, very important. You know what is very important? See, when you are connected to the process of Krishna consciousness, you know what to do or how to do. Some are connected uh, through some prasad, some are connected through seeing festivals, some are connected through seeing gorgeous decoration of the deities, some are connected through Sankirtan. Some like to chant, very, very few. They are connected through that. Some like to read, they're connected through that. But please understand, eventually what happens is, if our awareness is not deep, I'll repeat again. If our awareness is not deep, and if you are not convinced with this process, we will leave this today or tomorrow. Yeah. Or we might stay, but that staying will be superficial. That means we will never come to the superficial in the sense we will not aspire for surrender. We will not aspire to come out of the anartha nivritti. We don't aspire to go to nishta, ruchi, ashakti. Those things will not manifest because we are just there. We like prasad. We like to meet some devotees, some social circle, some Tampa association. Likewise, Tampa ISKCON community. Likewise, that's how we communicate, we connect, and then we stay at our home, and then we do little bhajan kirtan, and then we will move forward. But that thing will not go deeper. Why? Because the awareness is not there. Because that kind of association we never took. I'm not saying that is problem. What I'm saying is, if a deeper assessment or awareness is not being cultivated or we are not trained on that level, then what happens is eventually we will leave the process. Because we have never seen the Lord, because we do not get the realizations or reflections, we will leave the process. As simple as that. That means a person has to be convinced with what he's doing. For example, you're going to office and you're writing a code. You know how to write the code, right? You know, if you write the code like this, then the project, will be successful. Then you can deploy your code from one environment to the other and then move it into production. Without awareness, you don't work there, right? For a material job, you require so much awareness. They will do interviews 1 round, 2 round, 3 round, 10 rounds. And then eventually they'll give salary 200, 300K. But without this intelligence, without this awareness, can we get that? No. Just for a material job, we can't get it. What to speak of spirituality? So many people will say, Japa karo, Bhagavad Dham jayenge. We just chant Hare Krishna, you'll go back home back to God. Or you just pull the Rath once, Jagannath Ratha Yatra. You pull the Rath, you'll go back home back to God. Or you take some Krishna Prasad. You put Tulsi leaf while you're dying, you'll go back home back to God. Dear devotees, without developing a relationship, without developing a sambandha, how can we go? Or where can we go? This question should come actually. Or without doing a selfless service, how can, because if we don't develop those qualities, what do we do after going there? Okay, let's say they sent us. What do we do? If we have lust, greed, anger, envy in the heart, and then we are in the spiritual world, and then there the Lord is actually playing very nicely with everyone, then immediately the thought will come, Arey, why the Lord is playing with them? He should play with me. That's it. God guess. Let to come back again. That means, please understand, this disease has to be cured. The disease has to be removed from the heart. Dhritarashtra was actually seeing Krishna face to face, but the disease is not removed. That's why he couldn't perceive that person. He couldn't understand the glories of that person. See the attachment, how deep it is. Vidura tells Dhritarashtra, please, he's not a good person. Don't give him kingdom. But he did not hear. He gave. Why? This raga is very deep. Actually, the same raga which we have, that will come to our dependents also. And when they are married, they will also repeat the same thing. That's how the jiva will remain here. Jiva has to come out. That's what Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here, right? This is significance of the word Dharma Kshetra and Kurukshetra. What is that significant? Shri Krishna was present. The unwanted plans like Dhritarashtra's sons Duryodhana and other would be wiped out, and thoroughly religious persons headed by Yudhishthira would be established by the Lord. That means that is the will of the Lord that dharma has to be established. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirvavati bharata. Abhyuthanam adharmas tadatmanam sujamyam. Krishna tells. So I come again and again to establish dharma. Because through that dharma only, na, people will be happy. Everyone will be happy through that state only, na. Otherwise, they cannot be happy. Show me one person who is happy with raga. It's nobody. You see how deep the disease is. A person doesn't even realize that it's in raga. That deep it is. Or they will say you are mad. What are you talking? He's not my son. You're mad. They will tell. What you talking? What's happening? Did you drunk? Couldn't understand. Raga. Attachment. And this attachment is so deep, dear devotees. So deep. You see, Chitraketu Maharaj, when his son left, he was profusely crying because after so much uh, endeavor, he received the child by the mercy of Angira Muni. And now he left. And then the same Angira Muni is there. He's asking, Angira Muni, what's happening? Why did he left? He cannot stay without him. See the connection. You know how deep this raga is? When husband dies, wife will also die within 6 months. So connected, so much connected. Because they have so many memories. They'll continuously remember about that person only, about their memories, about their interaction. And they're remembering them, but they don't see that person. So it's a deep anxiety. They don't eat properly. Because all of a sudden this happened. Then the raga will kick in. It will kill the soul. It will kill that person. It's very deadly, dear devotees. But even this raga is not to person anymore. It is to the instruments now. Or it is to the assets. A lot of people they have raga to their car. I'll tell one small thing. A father buys a car. It's a new car. And somehow the son is scribbling on the car. Next day itself. And then the father noticed, was very furious. He hit him left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, because he was scribbling on the car, just spoiling the car. Left, right, left, right. And then the son was crying, crying, crying. He was not listening. The wife was also holding, but he was not. It's a new car for 60K US dollars. It's a new car. It's crying. The son was crying. And then later on, the father will actually go and see what he has written. He says, here, the son would write, I love you, father. The father started crying profusely. Profusely. See, the word is generally children, they do not, they're pure. They do not show raga. It is parents who show raga. And then through that raga, we spoil them. Then they will also learn that raga. Because they are associating, na? They're associating with us. So they will learn that. But generally, they are very simple. As the proper says, they are Vaikuntha children. And they should be trained up in Krishna consciousness since their childhood. So, for that to happen, I remember my Shrichashtra telling us, he told us you should become very pure to actually train the children nicely. Because if you are mixed with Raga Dvesha and we beat our children through our Raga, it's only our Raga only we beat them. The what is if you really want to correct and then beat them, we do it once. We don't do it again and again. Again and again, we don't want to correct them. We want to give love. We correct them once or twice. But correcting again and again at every step, at every moment, is that out of love? I don't think so. See, through love, there is the father or mother should teach. They should be heavy at times. But that heaviness, it shouldn't be always, dear devotees. If that heaviness is always, please understand, if a person is actually heavy with his son or a daughter always or is frustrated with his son, that doesn't mean that he has love or affection to the child, to the son or the daughter. He has raga, thinking that what's going to happen to my child, what will be his position. And through that frustration, you'll beat him or her. That is not correction. Correction should be given, but the exact correction should not be the same thing always. Please understand this. A person is free from raga only, he can correct, he can change them. If a person he is filled with raga, he cannot change the other person. For example, he can't even change himself. What to speak about changing the other person? It's not possible. So this raga and dvesha has to be addressed, has to be checked continuously. I remember Spiritual telling, he's only to give truth, he speaks little heavy, not too heavy. Only to tell the truth, only to teach the truth. But after the class, you go and meet him. He's so kind, so gentle. And if you say, I want to do a service, he say, only if you desire. There's no, there's no force. Only if you desire. Very beautiful, dear devotees. This is Vaishnava qualities. No, they don't say, oh, yes, 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 let's do, let's do. So only if you desire, only if you want to do a service. Otherwise, you're satisfied. Just like Krishna is satisfied, Atma Rama, na? Likewise, spiritual master is also satisfied. Because they have the qualities of the Lord. They are also on the plane of Atma. So this thing is very important, dear devotees. Our our attachment, our attachment is based on so our attachment is based on through our relationship. If our relationship is with Guru and Krishna, we will have good attachments. And that attachment is not bonding. So giving love to the daughter or the son is not bonding. Is not binding us in this world, but actually helping us to liberate from this world. Dear, what is if we don't give love and affection to our beloved ones? How can they understand Krishna consciousness? For example, if I'm showing enmity, hatred, showing lust, greed, anger, envy towards my children or the dependents, do they ever understand Krishna consciousness? That means if I have attachments, oh you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do the other, you have fit for nothing, fit for nothing. Because we are expecting something out of it. That's why we are frustrated. That's why we speak like that. The report is if your children, if our children do not practice Krishna consciousness, you tried so much, you can still love them. Doesn't mean that they're not practicing. No, I don't love them. Generally, this is what happens. If you want to give something, the people are not there in a position to accept it, then you reject that person. It's like the Thrashta, he's actually trying to chastise, we'll actually see in a couple of slogans. He's trying to use heavy words to the other personalities who are elderly to him. Why? Because of Raga. Because he wants that property. Because of Kama, that is his desire. He wants to become the king again. That was the desire, right? The chief minister of one state wanted to become another time because there is an ocean. Two times who become a chief minister, third time he will not become a chief minister in that assembly. So what he did, as per Vastu, only two times. What he did, he changed the assembly only because he want to become third time. He couldn't. See the attachment, how deep it is. For that, he is ready to spend government money so much. Doesn't matter. What he matters is that position. So this karma is always deep in the heart. Please understand. Karma will not leave. And can only come out of this when one has a relationship. Dhritarashtra couldn't have that. As soon as he's seeing Supreme Personality of Godhead, but no connection. It's just seeing. For example, if there is let's say, there is a famous person, let's say Sachin Tendulkar is going in the street and you're 500 feet away from him. You saw him. You feel little happy because you saw Sachin Tendulkar. Arey wow. When we are when we are when we are young, we used to watch him playing cricket, right? But Sachin Tendulkar. But will he connect to us? Why is he not connecting to us? No relation. No, we know him, but he doesn't know us. That means the relationship should be what? Two ways. Should not be one way. But for love, it can be one way also. How love can be one way? And even if that person would see us or not, if we have a relationship, we will actually do it for him. Ashlishava bhadaratam pinasam adarshanam maramatam karam. Are you can put me in whatever situation you want, my dear Lord. I'm ready to accept that. You can put me in any situation, my dear Father. I'll simply accept it. Was the state of consciousness of a pure soul? Now, how is this manifested? It should be free from this raga. If a person has this raga in the consciousness, he will never understand the relationship with Allah. He'll never take that relationship, especially with the spiritualist. He'll never take it. Because it's through that raga, through that attachment, what is happening is he has his own things manifested in the heart. No matter how much you give him, no matter how much you give him, he will not accept. Because he has something else. We see in the scriptures, right? You see, Arjuna was kept in a difficult state and he's telling, I will not do this. So that thing is important. What is that? Arjuna was being kept in a difficult state. But through the difficulty, what happened? What happened is, as he has a relationship with the Lord, he approached him. Though Duryodhana was also kept in a difficult state. He never approached it. He never approached him because no relation, because he doesn't feel. Why? Because of this. Raga and Dvesha. Why Dvesha towards the Lord? Because Krishna is giving the side of Pandavas. Na? Yes, Dvesha towards him. Hare Krishna. So that's how it manifests about this. Through one quality, entire thing will change. Because that quality is actually sitting in the consciousness, the nature or the mentality. No, Srila Prabhupada wanted to address that. That's why he says that first itself, he says, he's telling, please remove this from the consciousness. Please be free from this. Right. This is a great shelter and mercy day about this. I always feel. Because to check our heart, to check our consciousness, to check our mentality, the greatest benediction actually. When we understand this is how the raga is working, then we know how to come out of that also. That means we are forcing something or somebody to do it. We need to understand that is raga. Please understand. Very important. That means the force is continuous. Please understand it is raga. It's not love. Material nature is telling or showing that as love, but that is not love, that is a raga only. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here. Anyone would like to add anything? Would like to share? Hare
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu, thank you so very much for the beautiful class today on raga. And if we don't identify the raga, then uh, uh, in which way is that raga, whether it is connected to Krishna, Guru and Krishna, or connected to me? If it is not connected to Krishna, Guru and Krishna, then automatically, though I know or do not know, I should identify that it is attachment to me. And then if it is attachment, then the expectation would come, and with the expectation, frustration and so forth. So always important to check whether that raga, whether that connection, whether that's the love is actually one level up, connected to Krishna or not. Because, yeah, because we have to check always, otherwise we don't know how kids or dependents react to the situation. We try to help them, try to guide them, but nature is very strong. So this is something that we have to learn as well. But Prabhu, without, yeah, I think you answered as well. So if there are situations where we have to let it go, then not related to Krishna, then should we let it go just for them to learn on their own, and we know for sure if we let it go, then something else will come after that. Something else will come after that for sure. So at that point, though we think one level up, um, how should we behave in that
We
situation?
should we should discuss as a group, husband and wife. They should discuss together and then try to figure out, what is best to be done. That cannot be discussed. We should approach a higher authority and then ask them.
Yes, Prabhu.
And through their guidance, we should move forward. That way, we know whether this is right or wrong. Making sense?
Yes, Prabhuji, definitely. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
This.
Just wanted to share as well, Prabhu. It's so very beautifully explained. Didn't know that the first sloka in Bhagavad Gita has this level, this deep sense of raga itself. Because if, as you said in the first class, if you don't understand the raga or the attachment that Dhritarashtra is going through, he wouldn't understand. Though he went learned the scriptures and so forth, he wouldn't. Um, one who is attached with raga, they would. If I'm, for example, if I'm completely attached, I wouldn't understand Bhagavad Gita in a way that. On a soul level, I wouldn't understand Bhagavad Gita on a soul level. Rather, I would understand on a knowledge level, and it's of no use. Uh, Knowing it in a knowledge level will not help me go through, right, to get closer
It
to.
will be useful to tell others, show our panditya to others. It will be useful for that. But that panditya will neither help us nor the other person. So, because we'll be frustrated anyhow, because we don't know how that is working. We don't know how the raga is actually working. Nobody knows actually how this is working. No one has a clue. It's only by the mercy. So I remember by the mercy of the spiritual motion only then we will. Otherwise, otherwise you cannot understand. There's more actually. We can discuss two more classes also on this first one. Actually, everybody will ignore chapter 1. But if one understands chapter 1, they'll understand other part. They'll begin with Dehino Sunyata, chapter 2. There's knowledge now. There is not much knowledge in this, but there is so much deep heart science in this. The question will come, why Arjuna went to that state? Why is Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana is in a fearful state? They're seeing the Lord, but why are they not able to accept the Lord? No, they could accept the Lord, right? Why are they not accepting the Lord? What is stopping them? Continuously, Vidura is telling Dhritarashtra, you do this, but Dhritarashtra is not doing. Why? What is stopping him? These kind of questions, it should come from the heart. Because this is heart science we are devotees. It's not a joke what we are discussing every day. It's a deep science. And whoever feels the importance of this, they will only be connected. Otherwise, others will not be connected. That means if a person is hearing sincerely, he will only be connected. I remember spiritual master when he says, if you are hearing very attentively what I'm saying, then only you'll understand what's actually going on here. Why there is a fight and why Krishna had to spoke this thing in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Why did he spoke this? And why Arjuna is in so much grief? And how come Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana are so much attached to this? And then this attachment, do I have this attachment? This law of attachment? These are the introspections which will come to our consciousness. Then if I'm attached, then why am I attached to this? If I have to live, then how I have to live? If I have to get connected, how I have to get connected? How should I develop relationship with the Lord? These are all the jewels which come when we actually go internal. For example, if another person is actually speaking, let's say one person is speaking, both are preachers. Let's say both are preachers. Both are preaching. They are not. Both are preaching Krishna consciousness. But if the person is actually speaking, if he has awareness what the raga is, let's say the second person is actually hearing, he is also preaching. He doesn't understand what this raga is. Then he will have envy toward the person who is actually speaking. And he will have ill feelings to that person because he's speaking nicely now. And that comes without our awareness also. We have no idea that this is coming. We don't understand, we don't try to perceive the truth in that level. It's very deep, dear devotees. Actually, these are the states where we are blocked actually. Hare Krishna. Very important. This raga and dvesha is very dangerous actually. If that is not there, this will come. It is not there, that will come. Hare Krishna. Actually, sadhaka should be very fearful with this. And through this state only Arjuna surrendered. Please understand, Arjuna surrendered by seeing all these anarthas in the heart. He couldn't do anything. But in the conditioned state, we ignore. In the condition, we don't even know that they are there. Let's say if a person is hearing, he understands, but he will ignore. Most of the cases, they will ignore. But nobody wants to come out of it. Because unless until we come out of it, then only we will actually understand, or we will be able to chant our Ram Shastha, or we will be able to do some little small service for the pleasure of the spiritual master and the Lord. Then we will understand, why Srila Prabhupada took so much struggle because of this, because he wants us to come out of all these things. It's important. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anyone else would like to add anything or any questions on this? This is not some. This is not only just to follow some regulative principles, then chant 16 rounds. There's so much behind this. That's the reason why Srila Prabhupada wrote so many books. This is the core reason. Because he wants to give us Krishna consciousness. He doesn't just give God consciousness because you know who God is. He's Krishna only. There's no other person. Krishna is Krishnastu Swayam. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Eti Jansu Kama Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Because he is the only master. Everyone actually serving him. Krishna is a person, is root of everything. And we should have love, devotion to him. Then this Raga will be dissipated. So pure devotion is very important. Hare Krishna. If nobody has any questions, I'll stop here. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Yes, Srila Shubhu, please take on.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Glory to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for going deep into the first verse and showing us that this is not something theoretical, but it is very practical and something that we have to understand in our own life. Thank you for bringing such wonderful example and how whether it's through attachment or through love for the Lord that we are doing these activities. So it is really helping to connect what we learn in our regular day-to-day life. Thank you.